What's happening, everybody? It's your man, Jay Flex, coming back at you with another video. And I know it's been a little while, or a long while, since I've done a video like this, an audio video. But listen, I promise y'all I'm going to do a lot more of these, okay? But today we're going to get into a topic from this comment that somebody left on a video that I did probably about several months ago. And it's basically about, how to tell when a woman orgasms. But this one is going to be about how to make her orgasm. I feel like that's always a question, for a lot of men. A lot of men want to know what it takes to make a woman have that big O. Have that big scream, whatever, however they moan, or however they have that big O, right? And, it's a justified question, right? Really, you could also ask yourself the question of whose responsibility is it? Is that on the woman to have that orgasm? Or is it on that man to be able to arouse her, stimulate her, get her to have that orgasm, right? But either way, I think that it boils down to a few things, and we're going to get into it, all right? But before I get into it, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, because we're going to get into some real deep stuff. So anyways, I think the number one thing, in my opinion, when it comes to, and this is just from experience, when it comes to getting that woman off, right, is simple communication. And, a lot of dudes always seem to scratch their head when I tell them that, but it's very simple. Talk to that woman and find out, what gets her off. What type of things does she like to do to get her off? Now, I should start by saying this, don't lead with that, obviously. Don't come off like a creep or nothing like that. Don't lead with, oh. So, what gets you off? What makes you have an orgasm? Like, that's the first conversation you have with her off the bat. Like, nah, bro, you got to read the room. Now, if she feels, like she wants to talk about that and that she's comfortable enough with you to talk about that, then you can ask her that question. And don't feel ashamed to ask that question if y'all get to that point of the conversation. A lot of men struggle with, they struggle with asking questions like that because they want to make it seem like they already know everything and they don't have to ask questions. Well, if you knew everything, you wouldn't be listening to this video, number one. We all have to learn new things, right? And experience is life's best teacher, right? So, and also asking the questions. Some women may not even know what gets them off, but some women do. And if that woman knows, then she should feel comfortable enough to tell you. And if she tells you, then listen. Pay close attention. Some women, to be honest with you, don't get off from penetration. You know what I mean? Or right off the back, obviously, right? Some women may get off with toys. Some women may get off with their fingers and how you maneuver your fingers. How many fingers go in there? A particular amount that go in around the clitoris, whatever it may be. But that comes from having conversation with them, all right? And not being ashamed to ask that, and being more comfortable with your sexuality, right? Another way is actually paying attention to her body language, paying attention to her facial gestures. Is what you're doing getting her off? Okay. Is what you're doing actually working? Okay. A woman's actions will tell you, okay, if you are paying attention and listening and looking at her, trust me, you'll be able to know if what you're doing is actually working. Okay. Another thing is, while y'all are in the action, if she's telling you what you're doing and working, assuming that you've asked her these questions of what she likes and what she doesn't like, her kinks, what gets her off, and you're actually executing it, you're doing it, right? And she's telling you to keep going, keep doing that, right there, don't stop. That means, damn it, to keep doing what you're doing. It's as simple as that. You see, a lot of times as men, we don't really know and we're not really paying attention. But a lot of times a woman is actually giving you on the silver platter the cheat codes. But it's up to you to actually pay attention and listen and follow it through and get the job done. But the job ain't done until she finished. Let me repeat that again. The job is not done until she finishes. It's as simple as that. You see, fellas, it's not just about you. It's not just about how you feel, getting yourself off. It's about paying attention to her, communicating with her, looking at her body language, all of those things. Because those things actually matter and they're very important. And the last thing I want to stress is this. Even though I've said all of what I've said, I believe that it's also important not to put pressure on yourself. I think a lot of times as men, we put pressure on ourselves when it comes to relationships, sexual relations, right? In particular, sexual relations, right? Because that's what we're talking about. That's the main premise of what we're talking about. That you forget to have fun and enjoy and live in the moment. Especially if you really like this person. You know what I mean? You really like this person. It's important to not put pressure on yourself and on the situation. Because if you do that, then she's going to put pressure on herself. She's going to feel that energy of pressure. And she's not going to be willing to let loose. A lot of times a woman may not feel that she can orgasm because she feels so much pressure. She's not loose. She's not open. Because she's sensing that tense energy from you, right? And when you have that tense energy, that's not masculine energy. You're not operating in your true masculine nature and energy. And because you're not operating in your true masculine nature and energy, trust me, she ain't gonna feel comfortable with you. She ain't gonna feel open enough for you. And she's definitely not going to feel stimulated. So, I hope those tips actually help. And that you take and apply the things that I've talked about and taught you. And yes, there will definitely be a part 2. So, again, if you enjoy, like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's J Flex, and I'm out. Peace.